London, 1952. The corridor stretches before her like all the others she's walked. Endless, dimly lit, leading nowhere. Her heels click against marble, each step echoing in the silence of a forgotten life. She turns her key. The door opens. A shadow moves. They called her Christine Granville, but once she was Krystyna Skarbek, the woman Churchill called his favourite spy. She seduced generals, defied Gestapo interrogators and saved countless lives. Yet tonight she dies alone, stabbed by a man she once saved from despair. This is the story of the spy who loved no one. Snow falls over Warsaw. The year is 1915. A girl is born into a world already fractured by war, already trembling at its foundations. Krystyna Skarbek. The name carries weight, Polish nobility on her father's side, Jewish heritage through her mother. She belongs everywhere and nowhere, a child of contradiction, born between empires. She learns early that survival means adaptation. That identity is a costume you wear when needed. She rides horses through the forests of her father's estate, faster than the boys, reckless in a way that terrifies her tutors. She speaks French and German and English like a polyglot changeling. She watches her country dissolve and reform on maps drawn by distant men in distant rooms. By the time she's 20, she knows one truth with absolute certainty. She was not made for drawing rooms and polite conversation. September 1939. The Nazis invade Poland. Krystyna is in East Africa with her husband, a man she married for escape, not love. She hears the news on crackling radio transmissions. Her homeland is being devoured. She cannot sit still, cannot play the expatriate wife sipping gin in colonial comfort while Warsaw burns. She leaves everything, boards a ship to London, walks into the offices of British intelligence with nothing but languages, charm, and an unshakable conviction that she must act. They don't know what to make of her. A Polish countess volunteering to spy. Women don't do this. Aristocrats don't do this. But there's something in her eyes, something hungry and unafraid. They say yes. Krystyna Skarbek dies that day. In her place rises Christine Granville. Codename, cover story, weapon. She wasn't like other spies. She wasn't trained by shadowy handlers in the art of deception. She was born ready. For risk, for chaos, for meaning. The transformation is complete. The socialite who once waltzed in ballrooms now prepares to dance with death. France, 1940. Winter has turned the mountains between France and Poland into frozen graveyards. Krystyna crosses them on foot, carrying intelligence microfilmed and sewn into the lining of her gloves. She walks past German patrols with a smile that disarms, a laugh that distracts. She speaks their language perfectly, adopts their rhythms, becomes a mirror that reflects whatever they need to see. A harmless traveller, a flirtatious stranger, a woman too beautiful to be dangerous. They never look closer. At night, she transmits coded messages through hidden radios. She smuggles Allied airmen across borders. She maps German positions and troop movements with the precision of a cartographer and the instinct of a hunter. Her handlers in London call her their most valuable asset. She calls herself lucky because luck, she knows, is the only thing standing between a spy and a grave. Budapest, 1941. They finally catch her. The Gestapo cell is small, windowless. The air tastes of old fear and fresh violence. An officer sits across from her, methodical and cold. Who sent you? What were you carrying? Who are your contacts? Krystyna smiles. Not defiantly, that would be suspicious. She smiles like a woman with a secret too powerful to share. She begins to cough. Gently at first, then harder. Blood appears on her handkerchief. She clutches her chest. I have tuberculosis, she whispers. I'm dying. That's why I'm here. To die in my homeland. The blood is real. Bitten tongue. A trick learned from desperation. The tuberculosis is theatre. The fear in their eyes is genuine. They release her within hours. Terrified of contagion. Convinced she's already defeated. She walks out of that cell and disappears into the crowd like smoke into air. Years later, someone will ask her how she stayed calm. "I wasn't calm," she'll say. "I was empty." There's a difference. His name is Andrzej Kowerski, a Polish agent like her, crippled by war but unbroken in spirit. They meet in the chaos of occupied Europe, two shadows recognizing each other in the dark. With him, she finds something rare: partnership without possession. They share safe houses and secrets, smuggle documents across borders together, make love in borrowed beds with one ear always listening for footsteps in the hall. "Do you love me?" he asks once in the grey light before dawn. She considers the question carefully. Love is a luxury spies cannot afford. "I love this," she says finally. "What we do. What we are together." It's the most honest answer she has. They share danger like others share champagne. It's intoxicating, it's enough. Until it isn't. Italy, 1944. 3 Allied agents have been captured. They're held in a mountain prison, scheduled for execution at dawn. Command says the mission is impossible. The building is surrounded by German troops. The men are already dead. Krystyna disagrees. She drives to the prison alone, parks outside, walks to the gate in broad daylight, wearing the most expensive dress she owns. "I am a British agent," she tells the stunned commander, "and I'm here to negotiate the release of those men." The audacity stuns them into listening. She spins a story of advancing Allied troops, inevitable defeat, opportunities for mercy and survival. She implies connections to powerful forces. She makes promises she has no authority to make. She bluffs with the confidence of someone holding all the cards. 4 hours later, she drives away with all 3 men in her car. They call it the Digne prison miracle. She calls it Tuesday. Every victory comes at a price. Every life saved requires a piece of her soul traded for survival. She's lost count of the names she's used, the faces she's worn, the lies she's told. Sometimes in the rare, quiet moments, she catches her reflection and doesn't recognize herself. Who is Christine Granville? Who was Krystyna Skarbek? She's no longer certain there's a difference. They call her a hero, medal her for valor, write coded reports praising her genius. She calls herself what she is, a shadow, useful in darkness, burning in light. May 1945. The war ends. Champagne flows through London streets. Strangers embrace. The world exhales. Krystyna stands alone in her small flat, staring at medals she cannot sell and memories she cannot share. The British government thanks her for her service. Then they forget her. No pension, no recognition, no place in a world that no longer needs spies who remember too much. She applies for citizenship. Denied. Applies again. Denied. The same people who begged for her help now see her as a liability. A foreign agent. A woman with dangerous knowledge and no official existence. Your medals, she thinks bitterly, cannot buy breakfast. She takes work on ships, serves drinks in hotel bars, cleans cabins, washes dishes. The other workers don't know who she was, what she did, what she sacrificed. She's just Krystyna now, or Christine, or whoever needs her services. The restlessness never leaves, the hunger for purpose, for danger, for meaning. It gnaws at her like a sickness she cannot name. Andrzej finds peace. He remarries, rebuilds his life, makes his compromises with the ordinary world. She cannot. "Come with me," he says. "Start over. Let it go." But she cannot let go of what she was, cannot become soft and settled, cannot pretend that selling insurance or arranging flowers could ever fill the void where danger used to live. He finds peace. She finds silence. They drift apart like boats on diverging currents, both helpless against the pull. His name is Dennis Muldowney, a porter at the hotel where she works. He falls in love with her the way lonely men fall in love with beautiful women. Desperately, possessively, with no understanding of who she actually is. She tries to be kind, then firm, then cold. He cannot accept rejection. His love curdles into something darker. Obsession, entitlement. Rage, London, 1952. The dim corridor, the turning key. If I can't have you, he says, no one will. The knife enters her chest once, twice, 3 times. She dies as she lived, alone, fighting shadows, betrayed by someone she tried to save. No medals can stop the blade. No clever words can negotiate with madness. The spy who defied the Gestapo falls to a rejected lover's fury. Her body lies still in the corridor. Police arrive, take statements, write reports. The newspapers run a small notice. Hotel worker killed in domestic dispute. No one mentions Christine Granville. No one remembers Krystyna Skarbek. The woman who saved hundreds dies in anonymity. No state funeral, no ceremonies, no gathering of the powerful to remember her sacrifice. Just a lonely death in a cheap hotel. Just another forgotten woman in a world that used her and moved on. But those who knew her, who fought beside her, who owed her their lives, they remember. They remember the woman who crossed frozen mountains alone, the spy who talked her way out of Gestapo cells, the agent who bluffed entire German outposts, the lover who chose freedom over safety, danger over peace, meaning over comfort. Maybe she loved no one because the only thing left to love was freedom itself. Maybe she couldn't settle because settling felt like dying slowly instead of quickly. Maybe she was broken by what she saw, what she did, what she became. Or maybe she was never broken at all. Maybe she was the only one honest enough to admit what it cost. Krystyna Skarbek, code name Christine Granville, became Britain's first and longest-serving female spy of World War II. She parachuted behind enemy lines, seduced Nazi officers, rescued captured agents, and smuggled intelligence that changed the course of battles. She received medals from 3 countries. She was recommended for the George Cross. She died alone, stabbed, forgotten. But to those who knew her story, she was unforgettable. In a letter found among her belongings, written years before her death, she had penned a single thought: I loved danger more than peace. Perhaps that was my flaw, or my gift. The corridor is empty now. The blood has been cleaned. The hotel continues its business, but somewhere in the archives of British intelligence, her file remains. Classified, redacted, a ghost story that refuses to fade. Christine Granville, Krystyna Skarbek, the woman who loved no one, the spy who loved freedom more than life itself. Her war ended, but she never did. And perhaps that was always the point. Fade to black. The snow continues to fall over Warsaw, over London, over all the borders she once crossed. The woman is gone, but the story remains, and stories, unlike spies, never truly die.